Ayan, so recording na. Okay, so sorry for that one. So yung mga hindi nakasali ngayon, so balikan nyo na lang to. Di bale, very straightforward man siya. So formal logic, symbols of formal logic, and then logical connectives. So madali nyo lang naman siya intindihan kapag inintindi nyo talaga. Okay. Alright, so anyway, since nagmamadali tayo sa oras, we have here the truth values of conjunction, which is n. Okay? So ito sobrang dali lang. So for the truth values of conjunction, as you can see, we only have one true as a result. So we have here two statements. Okay? So P as your first statement and then Q as your second statement. And then why do we have these P, P, F, F, and then TF? So ito lang naman yung mga possible outcomes ng combination ng statement ng dalawang yan. Okay? So we have true, true. We have true, false. We have false, true, or false, false. Okay? And then if you combine those two statements using an AND, okay, which is a concatenation or an exponentiation symbol, okay, you will get those results. And as you can see, if we have a true value for the first statement and then a true value for the second statement, you will also get a result of true. And then the rest are already false. So why is that? So guys, bakit?
Hindi
Bakit
nila na-meet yung condition.
hindi na-meet yung condition? Okay, so tama naman. Kasi kung i-translate mo to sa Tagalog, so pwedeng ganito. Ipapasa kita sa subject na to kapag nakakuha ka ng grade ng 75 and above and natapos mo rin lahat ng mga major requirements na binigay ko. Okay, so hindi lang porket mataas ka sa exam or sa quizzes is pasado ka na. Okay, baka kasi may na-miss ka ring major requirements na kailangan mo talagang tapusin kahit na sobrang taas na yung grade mo. Okay, so kapag ganoon, magiging false na yung entire statement kapag hindi mo na-meet yung isa. So dapat, kapag gamit natin is and, okay, dapat lahat ng statement is true or dapat lahat ng statement is na-meet. Kapag merong isa na false, wala na kagad yun. False na kagad yung magiging result. Okay? So that is why we have this note here. P and Q is equal to true if and only if P and Q are both true. Okay? If one of those are false, then that's already false. Okay? So this statement can be read as P and Q, P but Q, P also Q, P in addition Q, P more over Q, and marami pang iba actually. So parang pampahaba lang naman ng mga ibang valid ways of reading that statement. Pero in general, we read that one as P and Q. Okay? So you don't need to memorize those four anymore. Okay? So you can disregard those four. Okay? Ang i-memorize nyo lang is P and Q. So we read this one as P and Q, not P but Q, P also Q. So magulo lang, mas gugulo lang kung iba-iba tayo ng way of reading that statement. So this one is P and Q. Okay? So are we clear so far with conjunction?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
All right, that's good. Okay, so let's have some examples here of conjunction. So we have number one. So P is 1 plus 1 is equal to 3. And then another statement is Q, a decade is 10 years. Okay, so if you're going to combine those two using conjunction, so it will result as like this, P and Q. Okay, wherein kopyahin mo lang to, lagay mo dito, and then ilagay mo yung symbol or yung pangalan mismo ng symbol na to, which is and then kopyahin mo lang din to, and then ilagay mo dito. Okay, so strictly no changing the format of that statement or of those statements. So kung ano yung nandyan, yan na yun. Okay? Kung ano yung nandyan, yan na rin yun. Ilagay nyo lang yung word na end. So 1 plus 1 is equal to 3 and a decade is 10 years. Okay? So ganun lang siya simple. Sobrang dali. Number 2, we have 3 statements. So PQR. So for the first one, we have Benigno Aquino III is the 15th president of the Philippines. And then Q, Aguil Casit is a singer or a composer. And then letter R is a bobcat is a official mascot of UC. So here are the questions. See the following propositions. So we have number 1, P and Q, P and R, Q and R, and then Q and P. Okay, so I will call someone who will answer those questions. So number 1, could you please answer number 1, Mr. Lamin? Okay, so random yun ah. Are you
Sir,
there?
medyo
Sige.
hindi ko po kasi nakuha kasi medyo nagcha-choppy po kasi. Mahina po kasi internet ko.
Yun lang. Okay. Sige. I-rewatch mo na lang tong recorded video. Bale, recorded naman siya para mabalikan mo yung mga part na hindi mo masyadong naintindihan. Okay?
Okay po, sir. Thank you po.
Mr. Velasco, could you please answer number 1? State the following propositions. So, meron tayong example, parang number 1. So, ganun lang naman. Ganun lang kasimple. Hindi naman siya sobrang hirap eh. Mr. Velasco, are you there?
Benigno Aquino III is the 15th President of the Philippines, and Ogie Alcacid is a singer and or composer.
Ganun lang kasimple, di ba? Sobrang dali. This one's like for grade 5. Okay, number 2, Miss Paclauna.
Benigno Aquino III is the 15th President of the Philippines, and Bobcat is the official mascot of UC.
Okay, so diba? Sobrang dali. Number 3, Miss Ian Cariel.
Ogie Alcacid is a singer and composer, and Bobcat is the official mascot of UC.
All right. Last one is Mr. Racer Vince. Number 4.
Ogie Alcacid is a singer/composer, and Benigno Aquino III is the 15th President of the Philippines.
Okay, di ba? Sobrang dali. Okay, so moving on. Truth values of disjunction. So, I hope lahat kayo is nakaka-follow hanggang dito. Kasi kapag wala nagtatanong, feeling ko lahat kayo naiintindihan nyo yung sinasabi ko. Okay? So, yun na lang siguro yung pinaka-hint ko. Kapag walang nagtatanong, naiintindihan nyo. Ganun na lang. Okay? Para hindi na ako magtatanong kung naiintindihan nyo ba yung sinasabi ko or hindi. Okay? So, as soon as you have a question or clarification, so feel free to interrupt me anytime. Okay? So, again, feel free to interrupt me anytime. Huwag kang mahihiyang, sir, question po. Agad-agad, ganun. Okay? Okay lang yun sa akin. Mas maganda yun. Okay? Kasi, madalas kapag nagtatanong ako, sayang yung 5 seconds or 10 seconds tapos walang sumasagot. Okay. Anyway, so here's the truth value of disjunction or the or. So, in or, ito lang din tatandaan nyo kapag or, okay, if there is one statement that is already true, and then even though the rest are false, the result of that statement is already true. Okay, as long as there is one that is true. Kahit ilan pa yung false na yan, as long as merong isa na true. Okay? So, TT is of course T. TF is still true. FT is still true. But if all of these statements are false, then that's the time that the result will become false. Okay, so ganun lang kasimple. So, okay? So, I hope na-gets nyo tong logic ng or natin. Okay? So, note P or Q is equal to true if either P or Q is true. Okay, just at least one. Okay, so let's have some example of disjunction. So again, same lang to sa kanina. Okay. All you need to do is get this one as the P and then change this one into a readable statement, which is yung symbol na V is or. Okay. So 1 plus 1 is equal to 3 or, and then Q is a decade is 10 years. Okay, so kanina napalitan, kanina nag-end to. So ito napalitan lang na into or. Okay? And then number 2, same lang din yung mga examples natin. So Benigno Aquino III is the 15th president, blah blah blah, hanggang sa Bobcat is the official mascot of UC. Okay. All that has changed are the symbols. Wherein letter V, okay, is a disjunction or an or. Okay. So sobrang dali na lang nito. So could you please answer number 1, Mr. Bradley?
Benigno Aquino III is the 15th president of the Philippines, or Ogie Alcacid is a singer or composer.
Alright, that's good. How about you, Miss Galigues? Number 2.
Benigno Aquino III is the 15th president of the Philippines, or Bobcat is the official mascot of UC.
Okay, number 3, Mr. Dom.
Bobcat is the official mascot of UC, or Bobcat is the official mascot of UC.
Okay, very good. And then last one is Mr. Moswela John. Number 4.
Benigno Aquino III is the 15th president of the Philippines, or mali, baliktad
Number 4,
pala.
number 4.
Or Ogie Alcacid is a singer composer, or Benigno Aquino III is the 15th president of the Philippines.
So sobrang dali lang ng and at saka or. Okay. So moving on, we have here an exercise for the first time. Okay. So ito yung magiging first exercise nyo. Okay. So nasa canvas na to, i-check nyo na lang later on kapag na-publish na. Okay. So don't worry, multiple choice naman siya. So wala nang confusion sa pagsagot. Okay. So pili lang kayo ng letter. Okay. So iwanan ko na to sa inyo. So 4 numbers lang naman. The next one is the truth values of negation. Okay, wherein negation is represented by not. Okay, or it is false that, or it is not the case that. Pero, again, para di tayo malito, pwedeng ang gamit na lang natin is not na lang. Okay, agad-agad. Not P or not Q or whatsoever. Okay, so again, gaya ng sabi ko kanina, if the value is true and then if you negate that one, it will become false. Wherein the representation of this one is not P. Okay? And then if it's false, if you negate this one will become true. Okay? So ganun lang naman siya kasimple. So it turns a false proposition to true and true for a false proposition. Okay? So we have your example of negation. So we have the statement P, wherein 23 is equal to 15 plus 7. And then if you're going to analyze this one, okay, this letter P happens to be false because 15 plus 7 is 22, not 23. So negation P is true. Okay? Or kapag P lang, P is false. Pero since may negation tayo dito, okay, this false will become true. Okay? And in Visual Basic, not plays the same role. Okay? So not, close it up in parentheses, 23 is equal to 15 plus 7 has the Boolean value of true. Okay? So again, sa mathematics man or programming, kung ano yung nasa pinakaloob, yun muna yung i-execute bago yung nasa labas. So this one is false. So not false is true. Okay? And then we have more examples of negation. So we have here statement P, wherein Charisse Pempenko starred in TV series opera, can be expressed proposition P in negation P as those two answers. So letter A, Charisse Pempenko did not star in TV series opera. So the original statement is Charisse Pempenko starred in TV series opera. But in here, if you're going to negate this one, okay, Charisse Pempenko did not star in TV series opera. Or you can answer like this. It is not the case that Charisse Pempenko starred in TV series opera. Okay, kasi meron yung, eto, okay, so dalawa na lang gagamitin natin. So pwede natin gamitin tong did not, or etong it is not the case that. Kasi meron yung mga ibang sentences kapag convert mo into readable statement, hindi pwedeng gamitin yung word na not. Okay, like magiging sobrang grammatical error. Okay, yung iba mali pero accepted pa rin, parang understandable. Pero merong iba talaga sobrang maling-mali. Kaya gagamitin din natin to minsan. Okay? It is not the case that. So kapag hindi pwede to, pwede niyong gamitin to. Okay? So we have here the other examples. Lea Salonga played the leading female role in Miss Saigon. Okay? So if you're going to negate this one, okay, as negation Q, so Lea Salonga did not play the leading female role in Miss Saigon, or it is not the case that Lea Salonga played the leading female role in Miss Saigon. Okay? So, ganun lang naman kasimple kung paano mag-negate ng isang statement. Okay? So, yes, meron siyang pagka-English na subject wherein i-check niya yung grammar mo. Pero, hindi naman ako masyadong stricto. As long as parang nagets mo na, kailangan not to kasi may negation. Hindi naman kailangan sobrang perfect yung sentence. Okay? So, understandable na medyo mali as long as tama naman yung sagot mo. Okay? Alright. So, again, exercise. Sasagutan nyo ulit to. Nasa canvas nyo na rin to. So, iiwanan ko na rin to. Sobrang dali lang naman yan. Kayang-kaya nyo na yan. So, multiple choice. So, wala kayong magiging problema. Okay? So, check ko lang kung nandiyan pa ba kayo. Are you guys still there?
Yes, sir.
Yes,
sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay, that's good. So, sabihin nyo lang kapag medyo mabilis tayo or meron kayong part na na-miss na hindi masyadong naintindihan, so sabihin nyo lang. Okay? Alright, so we have a sample problem here. We have either Blaise Pascal, ito muna, maka-important. Represent the proposition symbolically and determine whether it is true or false. So we have a paragraph here, which is either Blaise Pascal invented several calculating machines, and it is not the case that the first electronic digital computer was constructed in the 12th century, or pi was calculated 1 million decimal digits in 1954. So as you can see, we have a paragraph here wherein it is asking us to represent this paragraph into proposition symbolically. Okay, so gagamit tayo ng symbols or variables plus connectives. So very obvious naman, nakikita nyo na yung mga highlighted. This one is a connectives, this one is also a connective. Okay? So for you to be able to answer this one, so we should get statement per statement. So ito na siya. So meron tayong 3 statements in this one paragraph. So we have P, Q, R. So the first one is either Blaise Pascal invented several calculating machines. And then second one is the first electronic digital computer was constructed in the 12th century. And then the third one is pi was calculated 1 million decimal digits in 1954. Okay? So, para malaman natin yung mga truth values na mga P, Q, R, so we have to verify them kung true ba siya or false. So, if you need to search on the internet, then so be it. So, ito, kagaya na ito, Blaise Pascal invented several calculating machines. So, kung hindi mo siya masyadong kilala and then hindi mo alam yung mga inventions niya, so hindi mo siya masasagutan kung true ba siya or false. So, in this case, you have to search this one on the internet. And then, kung makita mo man yung sagot ngayon din, kung nagsasearch ka na, okay, ang sagot dyan is true. Okay? So, he has invented several calculating machines. Second, the first electronic digital computer was constructed in the 12th century. So again, like this one, kung hindi ka masyadong familiar sa history about electronics, so you can search this one on the internet. Okay? Wherein, kapag na-search mo na or nakita mo na yung sagot, the result of that one is also true. Okay? So, ang first electronic digital computer natin is noong 12th century pa. Okay? And then the last one, pi was calculated 1 million decimals digits in 1954. Okay, so alam naman natin na hindi ito yung tamang computation. Okay, so pi was calculated sa tingin nyo? Ilan? Ilan ang decimal digits ng pi?
So, bale infinite.
So, hindi ko lang sure. Hindi ko kasi masyadong binasa yung article na yun. Kasi merong libro, isang buong libro, ganito kakapal, yun yung buong decimals ng pi. So hindi ko alam kung natapos doon or may katuloy pa. Okay? So pwede na natin sabihin infinite siguro. Okay? So yeah, after mo makuha yung mga values ng PQR, so pwede mo nang i-form muna ito. Okay? Itong P, and then saan nanggaling tong concatenation? Dito, N. Okay? And then it is not the case that, okay, so alam niyo naman na siguro it is not the case that. So negation, and then Q, itong the first electronic. And then the last one is OR. Okay? Or R. O, sino nag-drawing doon? Okay? So once you have this correct expression, so that's the time that you can now substitute the values of those variables. So P is true, and then Q is also true, and then R is false. So from here, we can now evaluate this one. So again, unahin lang natin, just like mathematics, unahin lang natin kung ano yung nasa loob ng parenthesis bago yung nasa labas. So true and not true is equal to, kung kabisado nyo man or kung alam nyo man yung sagot, ang sagot dapat dito is false. So kung hindi nyo masyadong kabisado, so pwede kayong bumalik dito sa mga truth tables natin kung may copy na kayo. Pero since wala pa kayong copy, so dapat yung mga explanation ko kanina, naintindihan nyo na kagad. Okay? So again, oops, nasan na yun? Okay, so again, sa end, dapat lahat true. Kapag merong isang statement na false, then the entire statement will become false already. So that is why in here, this one is false. Kasi itong negation true will become false. Okay? So yun, after na ito, pwede nyo na isunod tong nasa pinakaulyan. So false or false. So again, sa or disjunction, there should be at least one statement that is true to make the entire statement true. But in here, wala. So dalawang statement natin is false, so the result is false. Okay? So we could say that this entire paragraph, okay, or this entire three statements are false. Okay? So are we clear so far?
Yes, sir.
Yes,
Yes,
sir.
sir.
Yes,
That's
sir.
good. So moving on, we have here the conditional or implication. So na-discuss na rin natin yung conditional kanina. Okay, ito yung gumagamit ng if and then. Okay, so we have here a statement. If you get 65 and above points in the final exam, then I will pass you in the course. So in here, the first statement is 1. If you get 65 and above points in the final exam, this is our hypothesis. Okay. And then if this hypothesis is true, then I will pass you in the course. So ito yung condition. And then if you were able to met this condition, then I should also do my part, wherein I will pass you in this course. Okay. So we only have two parts for conditional. We have the hypothesis and then the conclusion. Okay. So moving on, we have here the truth table of conditional. Okay. So again, we have two statements, and then if you combine them using conditional, here are their results. So for true and true, we have a result of true. For true and false, we have a result of false. False and true, we have true. False, we have true. Okay. So for you to be able to understand this one a little bit more, I will give you guys a scenario later on. Okay? Kasi meron na lang tayong 2 minutes na natitira. So hindi enough yun kasi medyo mahaba-habang explanation tong conditional. Para ma-convince ko kayo na, sir, bakit kapag true and true, true, tapos pag true and false, false na. Okay? So, mamaya papaliwanag kung bakit ganun yung naging resulta. Okay? So, for now, goodbye and then see you on part 3. Okay?